The 2006 volleyball incident. On July 2nd, 2017, an anonymous user posted a thread on 4chan's paranormal board saying, "How does one live after taking the red pill on the 2006 volleyball incident?" Now, if you're wondering what that incident was, it's a strange and disturbing story. The post was referring to a supposed mass shooting where a gunman killed 14 people during a high school volleyball game in either South Dakota or Nebraska back in 2006. But here's where things get strange. If you search for any information about it online, you'll find nothing. No news articles, no official casualty reports, nothing. Just conspiracy theory websites and the occasional Reddit post asking if it even happened. It's like the whole event either never existed or was somehow erased from history. But despite the silence online, there are many people who claim they remember hearing about it. Some even say they were at Mount Rushmore around that time and heard a report about it on the radio. For a long time, the only evidence of the incident on the internet was this still frame from a home video that was supposedly taken just before the incident with the date September 27, 2006 embedded on it. That is, until some ordinary gamer, a YouTuber who often dives into dark web rabbit holes, discovered more evidence. While browsing the Late Nights forum on a 4chan-like site, he came across the gruesome pictures of a bloody school gym that were allegedly taken soon after the shooting had already happened.
So right here, let's go down a little bit over here. They've got 2006 volley. Oh my god. Oh, we're gonna have to blur this one. Jesus Christ, that's actually like death footage. I think I remember this. I was searching around for some sort of proof of this happening, and apparently it's a snippet from a home video. Oh my god. We have to blur that out. I gotta make sure we note that, blur it real quick. Let me add that to the notes here. Jesus, it's like an actual straight up bloody massacre. It's like VHS recorded. This has to be from like a movie. There's no way. This has to be from like some movie. It's crazy as hell. That it's got like a CBI not for release. Like I assume CBI stands for like some sort of a governmental organization or something. That is so messed up. I feel like I should have known this or something. I don't even know if that's like a conspiracy. How is that a conspiracy? It's actually like death foot, unless it's from like some movie or something that we don't know about. Jesus Christ. That is actually the most chilling thing I've seen. We're like 5 minutes into this recording and already it's just like death footage has hit the building.
In the bottom right corner was the text CBI not for release, which I'll do my best to show you while blurring everything else out. This has led to some pretty wild theories being spread all over the internet. According to the most popular ones, the incident did happen, but it was covered up by the American government. As the story goes, the government was trying to assassinate someone who was attending this high school volleyball game. Things got out of hand, however, and a lot of the young volleyball players were caught in the crossfire. And since this would have caused tons of backlash from the public, the government instructed the news media to not talk about the story and also paid the victims' families to keep them quiet. However, while the US government is no stranger to covering up the truth, I have to admit this one is quite far-fetched. Keeping something this big under wraps for so long feels pretty out there. At some point, you'd think the truth would slip out. A somewhat more reasonable theory is that this is a classic case of the Mandela effect, where large groups of people collectively misremember something. While researching this incident, I came across an interesting post on the forum Above Top Secret from 2017. In this post, the OP was talking about creating a hoax in which multiple school shootings happened in 2006 in tiny towns, but any information relating to these incidents has been mysteriously erased from the public record. But if that's the case, the images that some ordinary gamer came across, where did they come from? Considering it's been over 7 years since this first contraction on the internet, it's unlikely we'll ever know the answer to this disturbing internet rabbit hole. Grave robbing evil stick. In November of 2014, Nicole Allen purchased a pink princess wand for her 2-year-old daughter at the dollar store in Linden Avenue in Kettering. The name of the wand was Evil Stick, which is quite bizarre on its own, but likely went unnoticed by Nicole. However, the stick also promised things like luster, beauty, and wonderful music. The box art also featured the character Sakura Kinomoto, who was the protagonist of a popular Japanese animated show called Cardcaptor Sakura. In the show, Sakura is essentially a magical princess, so the inclusion of just a cute-looking character made Nicole drop her guard even further. But she couldn't have been more wrong. The thing is, the inclusion of this character on the box art suggested an Asian origin for the product. And looking back, the Evil Stick does have a small, and I do mean small, resemblance to one of the wands Sakura uses in the show. The Evil Stick was most definitely a bootleg version of a product that should have looked something like this had it been official. However, the Evil Stick was much more sinister than just being a bad product. Unlike its official counterparts, the manufacturers of the Evil Stick bootleg had free reign to do whatever they wanted. And it's what they chose to do with this freedom that was utterly disturbing. You see, the top of the wand had a shiny foil fitted in, likely to imitate the shiny star in the official wand. However, this foil was hiding an image under it, and when Nicole's daughter accidentally removed the foil while playing with the wand, she was greeted with a downright disturbing image of a creepy-looking woman slitting her own wrist. This was likely petrifying for the little girl, but that wasn't all. If you pressed the button on the wand, instead of the wonderful music it promised, the wand played a haunting laugh. This also turned on a light behind the creepy image, so the little girl would have likely seen it even if she hadn't removed the foil. When Nicole found out about the disturbing truth, she made her findings public in hopes of getting this creepy toy banned from stores. News coverage of the Evil Stick quickly went viral, but the toy remained as mysterious as it was creepy. And the disturbing image concealed within the toy was traced back to French photographer Butcher Ludwig, who appears to be a master of creating the most nightmarish artworks one can imagine. Nearly all of his work is too graphic for YouTube. For most of them, however, even a quick glance is enough to trigger your fight or flight response. As for why the gory, horror-filled work of his photograph was stolen to be included in a children's toy, no one knows for sure. The only other thing people learned about the Evil Stick after examining its package was that it was manufactured in China, and that's it. The packaging didn't have the name of the manufacturer. I even looked up the universal product code embedded in its barcode and couldn't find any relevant information through that either. This is just one of those things that really makes you wonder what other disturbing mysteries are hidden inside cheap children's toys. In this disturbing Ring camera footage from 2021, a woman in a hoodie can be seen approaching the front door of a house in the middle of the night. Behind her, a man wearing a face mask and a lanyard stands on the steps as she rings the doorbell. Doorbell cameras are meant for homeowners to see who's at their door and communicate with their visitors to decide whether or not it's a good idea to let them in. But in this case, the owner opens the door without hesitation.
Hello, do y'all have a phone I can use? My car broke down and y'all's the only one that got a light on.
We don't.
You don't?
Sorry.
The woman tells him that her car broke down and asks if she can use his phone. The owner politely refuses, but as soon as he apologizes and closes the door, the man with the face mask tries to break into the house with a weapon in hand. Fortunately, the owner had locked the second door just in time. It's unknown if he called the police, but from what I could find, the identities of the man and woman haven't been revealed. What makes this footage even more chilling is the fact that there's a playground in the yard, which means the two had specifically targeted a house where they knew there would most likely be kids inside. Had the homeowner not reacted quickly, he and his family would have probably been the victims of an armed robbery, or possibly much worse. 22, a Reddit user uploaded this disturbing Ring camera footage with the caption, "Zombies want your brain." The video shows a young man in a bandana covered in what appears to be dirt or blood, repeatedly slamming himself into the front door of a house. On his third attempt to break down the door, he apparently knocks himself out after hitting his head. Stumbling after the impact, the man collapses over the front porch railing, knocking over an ornament in the process. He groans in pain as he flails his arms and raises his legs, seemingly trying to get back on his feet, but the video ends before we can see what happened next. After the footage was uploaded, many viewers commented that the man was probably under the influence of hard drugs, which would explain his uncoordinated movements and violent behavior. Other users suggest that he might have had a seizure after hitting his head on the door, but because the video was uploaded with no context or explanation, it's impossible to confirm what actually happened. After that night, the homeowner never saw the man again. On July 24th, 2021, a woman named Caitlin Curtis took her baby to the park across the street from her house in Arizona. After sitting down on the bench next to a fountain, a scruffy-looking man suddenly approached her, sat on the bench next to her, and asked her if she wanted to buy his drawings. According to Caitlin, the drawings looked like they had been drawn by a little kid, or by someone with no artistic talent. After politely refusing to buy the drawings, she got up and left the park with her baby in the stroller. As she was leaving, she saw the man get into the passenger seat of a suspicious-looking truck at the other end of the park, which then circled around her several times as she made her way back home. Afraid that she was being followed, Caitlin took a different route back to her house and entered through the back door so that the men in the truck wouldn't know where she lived. 3 days later, when Caitlin was out of town, her doorbell camera captured the same man walking up to the front door of her house and ringing the doorbell at 3 in the morning. According to Caitlin, her husband was asleep while the whole thing was happening, and he didn't learn about the man's visit until the next day. After the video was uploaded to TikTok, some users commented that the fact that the man rang her doorbell specifically was not a coincidence, and that he might have been watching her from the day they met in the park. It's possible that he was using the drawings to try and distract her, while the other man in the truck abducted her child, but we'll likely never know his intentions for sure. The incident could just be written off as a man who was under the influence of drugs or suffering from mental illness, but if Caitlin hadn't been careful, it's anyone's guess what might have happened. Fortunately, the man never came back, and neither Caitlin nor her family had seen him again.
Bigfoot chases a car in Colorado. The Paranormal Review is a channel dedicated to analysing paranormal activities, including Bigfoot sightings, Sasquatch encounters, UFOs, and more. It encourages viewers to share their own paranormal experiences so they can be examined and discussed. While in 2015, a woman submitted a video to the channel for review. She claimed that she and her husband were driving at night in Colorado when they thought they had hit a deer. Concerned that they might have injured or even killed the animal, they backed up their vehicle, and the woman recorded what appeared on their reversing camera. Take a look.
Hit something. Hope it didn't hurt the car. Somewhere. Is that it right there? There it is. Oh my gosh, go.
We understand the quality isn't great, since it's a cell phone camera recording a reversing camera. However, you can definitely see what appears to be a person running towards the car. The woman who submitted the footage believes it could possibly be a Bigfoot. We'll slow it down so you can see it more clearly. It's definitely a human form, but is it Bigfoot, an angry man, or a hoax? What do you think? Duende caught on camera. Along a dirt road leading to a farm in Monterrey, Nuevo Leon in Mexico, a security camera picked up something that is perceived by locals as an evil presence. Check this out. After the clip was released, social media erupted with various reactions, with many users suggesting that the creature featured might be a goblin. Goblins are mythical beings found in folklore around the world, often depicted as small creatures with unique talents and magical abilities. Their origins primarily stem from European folklore, but similar concepts have appeared in other cultures under different names. Legends about goblins portray them in two ways. They can either be helpful or harmful to humans. Some stories describe them as guardians of homes or forests, assisting people and tending to nature. In contrast, other narratives depict them as mischievous or even hostile beings that take pleasure in causing minor damage or inconvenience. However, the creature captured in this clip is believed to be a duende, a humanoid figure comparable to gnomes, goblins, elves, and leprechauns. In Mexico, the creature known as the duende is considered a cruel forest spirit that lures children away from their homes and into its forest lairs. These goblin-like beings are said to hide in the walls of houses where children live. They watch over the children and often try to tidy up those who are unkempt. There have even been accounts of duende attempting to trim untidy toenails, which can result in the accidental removal of an entire toe. Such beliefs are prevalent among the Mixtec and Zapotec communities of Oaxaca, where the duende is commonly found, in the mossy cloud forests of the mountainous regions. Visually, the creature resembles a small child with the face of an old man, and has the ability to disappear at will, or shapeshift into a full-sized human man. If a little old man asks for food or money, it could be a duende. However, if you refuse to pay, the duende is known to cause mischief. Throughout Latin America and Central America, there are various other versions and beliefs that match the description of a duende, such as the Alux, Huacha, and Chanake, among others. Those who have studied these creatures believe that the similarities in the stories about them provide enough evidence to suggest that they may actually exist in some form. We'd love to know whether you believe these small beings are real or merely a figment of our imagination, and what you think of that creepy footage.